Hey guys, it's all that jazz. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot 2 months. Let me explain. I have an explanation for it. I do have an explanation. If you're new, you know what to do. We're on the road to 1K. Wait. We're no longer on the road to 1K. We're on the road to 2K now. I appreciate everybody that has subscribed, that's been along for the journey. Super excited to hit 1K. That is super amazing. I appreciate all the love and support, and still seeing my channel grow whilst I was living life and life was lifing and things were happening, and taking time to come back and be better. I know as much as possible I always try to be consistent on this channel, but no excuses. Your girl is back. So let's get into the video. I have good content and new things coming your way. I'm actually working on developing a blog right now. Stay tuned for that. What's gonna be in that blog is probably, I feel like I need to give y'all updates before we get into the video real quick, but it's probably gonna be considering like mom life, wife life, lifestyle things. Those are my main categories that I'm gonna be putting articles on and writing things about that I might not specifically make a complete video about, but just check it out. I'm going to link it below. Part of the reason that I haven't been able to record, as you guys know, is of course the full-time job is a lot of work. Within this time frame, I also decided to delete my Instagram, and when I say delete social media, I'm specifically talking about Instagram because TikTok does have a hold on your girl, but I did not go on that one as much either. I just completely deleted Instagram, meaning I removed it from my phone. I still have an account. It really wasn't anything that, like, if you go look for my Instagram, I don't have a lot of followers, like, so it's not like I was missing anything or anybody was missing anything about me. I quit social media, I quit Instagram, and at this point I would say it was majority of the 2 months. I would say it's probably 30 to 45 days that I have not been on there at all. And I'm gonna talk to y'all about the difference that I see, the changes and things of that nature. Number one, I quit social media. The reason was because I was feeling like it was draining me a little bit. I would think it would be heavier on people who really have to show up and really use it often, but really I didn't need to show up or use it often. It was just me seeing what I was seeing, but we'll get into that part. I still was on YouTube because I love YouTube, obviously. Also use it to educate myself about different topics such as finances, cooking, cleaning, decluttering, all of those things. So YouTube, I don't feel like it's super toxic or unhealthy for me, so I stuck with YouTube. TikTok had a hold on me, y'all, because I will find myself scrolling for like all throughout the day, randomly, any hours of the day, and I would just, at night in particular, once everybody sleep, go to bed, I go like might get into bed at 10 o'clock and scroll till 11:30, and it's like, now girl, you know you need to be asleep because you got a whole day ahead of you tomorrow, you know. So TikTok, I feel, was kind of like more of a time consumption versus like super unhealthy. And then Instagram is not what it used to be. It's definitely evolving. All of the social media platforms are evolving into different things, some for the better, some is just too much. So Instagram for me is a little bit more toxic, and I will say I feel like I was unsubconsciously comparing myself to what I would see. So I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh man, I really wish I had such and such. Like, that was never a conscious thought, but I think just seeing things and then wanting to get there and be there right now, and that my life is not what I'm seeing yet. Like, I know eventually we're gonna get to where we want to be, but not being in that place right now could be very frustrating. And I started noticing how it was affecting me in my mind. You know how the algorithm is going based off of what you continue to look at and scroll through, things of that nature. So like, I would scroll, you already know I had sister locks on there, or like housing clutter, same thing that I kind of look for on YouTube. I think I had these unrealistic expectations that I would set on myself, and too many ideas would be flowing through my head where I would be like, if I could just do this, if I could just do this, and then I could just be consistent in this, and then this. And I just think it became toxic because it was very time consuming. Even with kids, like you would think like I would have zero time, but like if it's downtime and the kids are just chilling, I have time to be like, oh, let me just scroll. What I found as I have not been on it at all, this has tremendously changed everything. And like I would be hesitant about it, like no, like maybe I should delete it, maybe I shouldn't, and it shouldn't even be that deep of a decision. But that's how much of a hold and a grasp that honestly it did have on me. I'm not gonna lie, we out here being transparent right now. But I did, number one, notice like obviously more free time. So I would be able to go to sleep at a decent time and then be able to wake up a little earlier. No, I still sleep in, I'm not gonna lie, act like I'm up at 5 every morning. That's not, I don't know if that'll ever be me, but it's a goal I want to achieve one day. I feel more rested, I'm not as tired, if that's really crazy to say. I think that's wild, but I do have more. I found myself being like more intentional with the way that I would spend my time with our kids and cooking more and being on top of things that need to get done more. I'm like a little bit less forgetful as far as like, oh shoot, I need to do this, do this, do this, do that. This was kind of like a sense of relief as far as having more free time. If I get into bed, instead of scrolling, I might journal or I might read. It was really, really helpful to get that time back. I don't know, I felt like I became a better mom, I became a better wife because I was more present. And I wouldn't say I wasn't present in the aspect of like always being on my phone. I think I just became more aware of things. Just want it to be clear that I wouldn't just be like, oh, forget my kids and now I'm just gonna scroll. Like no, it'd just be, you know, the times that I have maybe during their nap or early in the morning where they're asleep, instead of getting up and being like, let me make some breakfast, I might scroll. Or at nighttime I might be like, let me scroll, instead of like being productive at night. You know, y'all know I'm all about productivity. That's just how my brain works. I can't not be productive. Like this weekend the boys are at grandma's house and I'm like, what can I do to be productive? I done already put items on OfferUp. We done went to go look at apartments. Like I'm gonna always be productive as long as my body is gonna keep going. It's just in my soul. Like I will go crazy if I'm not. I do take time to relax, but typically that's like if I'm not feeling well. And that's how you know I'm not feeling well, if I'm big chilling, really, because it's just not me to big chill. Anyway, moving on to the other reason was, like I was saying earlier, was there was less comparisons. Social media can make us feel like we're not doing enough or we're not achieving enough. And I did feel a sense of like that when looking at it all the time. I felt less pressure to compare myself to others and be more content with my own life. I think I had more expectations on myself versus what other people expectations might have been, which there's probably not any, except for from my like parents. I think I beat myself more because I be watching so many different things on social media. I would be feeling like it's a rush on where I need to be, or I need to rush to catch up with where I think that I should be right now. And it's like, it's a season for everything, it's a time and place for everything, and I'm here now. I'm here with where I'm at for a reason, and I know that in the foreseeable future I'll look back and be like, that's why God didn't get it to me yet, because I wasn't ready. Understanding that is tremendous, which then brings me to my next point, is I have grown my relationship with God, meditating more, into prayer more, and into just seeking that relationship and growing that relationship with God versus just being like only when things get rough, because y'all know that's how life can be sometimes. Like if you have like that faith-based life, you can get onto the road of like, let me just go to God when things are tough, versus like, let me go to him when things are going good, let me go to him when things are rough, let me go to him when things aren't looking up. Like it doesn't matter, you know. So really growing that relationship and figuring out about like what truly matters in life has really been super eye-opening. And life is still life, but it's helping me be better equipped to handle adversity. So realize with the comparison, like these people not paying my bills. I think the biggest thing that I would be stuck on is like, how are these people online making this money? It'll be like how to make 3,000 from a month online, how to make 4K online, and I just could not pick. Like I had a new business idea every day. I can't pick my brain to understand like, how are you doing this all the time, right? So I realized there's a time and place for everything, and I just need to continue to work on what I'm working on instead of worrying about what everybody else is working on and how they got there. And I'm usually not that type of person. Like, I'm really not the type to be like, I want what someone else specifically has. I'm typically the type that's like, okay, how do I get to that space? How do I get to that place of being able to have a certain lifestyle? And so I couldn't say that I look at somebody and be like, oh man, I wish I had the Maserati, and I wish I had this, and I wish I had that. Like, I'm already not extremely materialistic, so that's not my mind frame. It's just so many things and goals that we have as a family and we have as a husband and wife that we want to accomplish, that I would love to be overnight, but that's just not reality, that I'm still learning to accept. Another thing is, social media can be a great way to connect with others. Like, who was I really connecting with? You know what I mean? Like, who am I talking to? Who am I, like people, like your family members, and they're like, oh, like Jazzy and the boys went there today, or like they're so cute, or blah blah blah. But like, genuinely, who am I connecting with? Like, if you have an audience, cool. And some people are like looking to grow their audience, as I am here on YouTube, right? But on Instagram and all of that stuff, it's like for real. And then it ends up making you also feel disconnected from the people you really do need to connect with, like your mom or your dad or your uncle, your cousin, or whoever it is. And life is going by like fast. I say that all the time. Without it, I did feel like, my relationships became more meaningful. I felt like I would be like consciously think of, oh, let me call my friend and check on her. With my husband, like, hey, why do we just hop into bed and get on our phone and scroll? Like, no, that's not what we need to do, and we've brought that up before, but really thinking about like, okay, maybe we should watch a movie even if we fall asleep. Like, we gotta do better. Going into who you're connecting with, I think TikTok and Instagram have different vibes. So like, Instagram is more, to me, it's definitely business oriented. I know people still use it for personal, but it's business oriented. And then like all those short videos of funniness and acting and laughter and things like that. TikTok is more genuine. Like, you see people, like real lives on there, people like getting emotional, and people really telling their story, or really giving you like legit medical, like, you shouldn't follow all medical information, I'm not saying that, but medical or anything with debt or anything that has to do with your kids. Like, you could literally go to TikTok as if it's Google, I feel, more so than Instagram, and be like, boom, runny nose, what are some things that people might try for a toddler runny nose? Boom, you're looking for a job, who's hiring right now, who's part-time hiring, who's full-time hiring, how much does this pay? Like, it's just so much on TikTok that honestly, I see why YouTube has transitioned to YouTube Shorts, because TikTok is popping. And I know they're trying to ban TikTok, but we'll see what happens with that. It's not the end of the world. Let's just not ban YouTube. That's what matters. No, but for real, people do make a living off TikTok, so that would be very tragic. And then they'd have to figure out how to like transition. That's a lot. So hopefully they don't completely ban it, because that is people's like legit check. People be rich from TikTok. I think overall though, to sum up this video, because I've been chatting, because I've missed y'all, quitting social media has been a positive experience, is what I would say. It's not for everybody, but I do say consider just taking a break, even if you're not like, I'm gonna let go of it forever, because I still don't know if I'm just gonna like be done with it and completely just move on and let it go, because I don't really see myself showing up for Instagram. It's so many platforms. Look, I'm on Pinterest, and we growing on Pinterest a little bit. I'm gonna have a blog and then YouTube, so I don't know if Instagram is the direction I'm going to go, unless I do find that you guys are like, oh yeah, Instagram, but most people who are on YouTube are like ride or die YouTube. But yeah, I think you could just get burnt out by the constant information, which is good because it's so much out there, but then it can be so overwhelming because it's all in your brain and you are trying to process it, plus live life, and plus get to where you're trying to go. Our brain does need a break to just simply be in the moment. And simply, that's why, like, if y'all see like intentional living or slow living is like really a great thing, because you have to really pull yourself away, because it's like being in a whole nother world. Like, you're in a virtual world when you're on social media, because you just get so caught up in everything that's going on. And of course, everybody's is different. Some people algorithm, they looking at cats and dogs, and somebody else is looking at newborn babies because they're about to have a baby. And then some people are looking at decor because they're ready to move. Like, it's so many different things out there that is so helpful, but it can also be harmful. So you have to genuinely pace yourself. Sometimes it can spark your ideas, but is it genuinely positive or negative for you? And if it is, for that moment, just take a break. That sums up this video. I hope that this was helpful for anybody who's thinking about letting social media go or taking a break from it. Like, you should actually do it. Because don't forget to comment, and if you super liked it, you should go ahead and subscribe, especially if you made it this far. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.